Over the past couple of years, I've profiled a few minor league ball players Dad has autographs from who never made it to the majors, and there's not much info to be found on them. Some got to play with the big names of the day and the greats of the era, but not every player has a story about rooming with Bill Mazeroski while in the minors, or in the dugout watching Jimmy Pearsall hit his 100th home run and then run the bases backwards. Because in life, not everybody is in the right place at the right time to see and do these things. I'd say these players do have some stories, they just aren't documented and only told to family members, golf buddies, and maybe some kids at a church event. When today's man of the moment became a man of God, it changed his life forever. He would later become a deacon and taught Sunday school for over 40 years. Perhaps it was his time, maybe fate or God's will, that in 1954 he would become a Christian and a year later an angel, an LA Angel. He was on a few minor league teams over the years, but never made it to the major league level. Baseball Reference has his stats, but no bio. So parts of this show come from this player's obituary. But he did play in 103 games for one of the greatest minor league teams of the 20th century, the 1956 Pacific Coast League champion LA Angels. So there's probably a few mentions about him in books and articles out there. I just don't have time to look for him. I need to leave in 20 minutes for my quick and easy organ removal class. So let's go. Why did this show jump to the front of the line? Because it's short and I can write it out by hand. But the main reason is I want to be that guy, the first to wish you a Merry Christmas in August. What can I say? Some people love Christmas. So I looked around Dad's collection and found this player and wrote up this little ditty that you can listen to while you go out to the garage and pull out the Christmas decorations. I will now kick off the holidays and present my Bob Coates Christmas Special Spectacular Angel in the Outfield show. Not one of my longer episodes that people can walk their dog to as they listen to my silver tongue spin gold for 20 minutes. But don't listen while driving, for one may fall asleep while hearing the voice of Satin. What's that, Ed? No, I said Satin, not Satan. Jesus, Ed, pay attention. While I talk about Robert Lee Coates, nickname Bob, and he was born on Christmas Eve, 1929, the son of Clarence and Julia, and it's the Coates family that will kick off my latest theme on holidays shows. Why? Because I wanted to be that guy, the first to wish you a Merry Christmas in August. What can I say? Some people love Christmas. Bob Coates, a 6-foot, 180-pound lefty outfielder raised in a tiny village that wasn't even 1 square mile in size, called Woodlawn, Illinois, and attended Woodlawn High School where he was an excellent student. How excellent? Bob earned an academic scholarship to Southern Illinois University, also known for being an excellent athlete, and later named a charter member of the Woodlawn High School Hall of Fame. Is that a big deal? You figure no, seeing as how in Bob's days, the population in the village hovered around 300. But when you look up the small school sporting accolades over the years, it's impressive. He signed with the Cubs in 1948 at the age of 18, spending his entire career in their system. Every season playing in well over 100 games, either at first base or in the outfield. And when Bob was on a team, it was for a full season. He just changed teams and leagues every season. Except for his 2 seasons with the LA Angels, his only time in AAA where Bob played outfield, because Steve Bilko played first base. The 2 seasons they played together, Steve Bilko hit 92 home runs, Bob hit 2. Here's an example of how a really good all-around baseball player can help a team without belting out a bunch of home runs. In 1957, while playing Double-A ball with the Memphis Chickasaws, aka the Chicks, Bob Coates played in all 153 games and led the team in almost every statistical category, but only hit 3 home runs. No power at the plate. And even if you do have power at the plate like Steve Bilko, a 3-time PCL MVP who during those 3 seasons hit 148 home runs, that's no guarantee you're going to stick in the majors. Big Steve Bilko played for nearly 20 years, and he couldn't stay in the majors for more than 3 seasons at a time, bouncing around leagues and teams his whole career. The amount of skill it takes to get into the majors and then stay says a lot for the ones that were never sent back down to the minors. Between 1948 and 1957, Bob Coates played in more than 1,100 games during his 9 seasons on 9 minor league teams with a career .312 batting average and only 24 home runs, which is why he was never a major leaguer, and his career was split between the low minors and the high. Playing on teams like Elizabethton Betsy Cubs, Sioux Falls Canaries, Grand Rapids Jets, Cedar Rapids Indians, Topeka Owls, Macon Peachins, Des Moines Bruins, and of course the LA Angels, who always come up in this show. That terrific 1957 season with Memphis turned out to be the best of Bob Coates' career and his last. But after a really good year and only 27, you think he would have stuck around one more season, maybe put on some weight and give it another shot. Or perhaps he knew his limitations and that the major leagues just weren't in the cards for him. Or maybe the call of the wife and the kids and a stable home life was the hand he chose to play. Speaking of last seasons, this was also the last season for Bob's Memphis teammate, George Shuba, famous for being the one photographed shaking hands with Jackie Robinson while the two were on the Montreal Royals in 1946, and supposedly the first photo of an interracial handshake in baseball history. Right place, right time. Also on that Memphis team with Bob was another George Pictusis. They also played together on the LA Angels, and he has a show coming up. After baseball, Bob would start his new career, one that would last much longer, paid much better, and was more secure. For 35 years, Bob worked in his community as an insurance agent and would be named president of the Mount Vernon Lions Club, president of the Central Southern Life Underwriters, and a member of the Equitable Life Hall of Fame. Now, I wouldn't want to speak for Mr. Coates, but I think he'd swap out one of those honors for just one game in the big show. So instead of coming up with my own poignant ending for my Bob Coates Christmas Special Spectacular Angel in the Outfield show, I'm just going to wrap up the first of my Christmas shows by again being that guy, the first to wish you a Merry Christmas in August. What can I say? Some people love Christmas. So after talking a few minutes about a baby born on Christmas Eve 1929 in the little village of Woodlawn, Illinois, who grew up and while attending college married Mona Jean, they would go on to have 5 kids and many grandkids that Bob got to spend time with before passing away in 2007 after a long illness. He was 77. I will leave you with a quote from my only real source of information, Bob's obituary, and it reads, Bob became a Christian in 1954, a transcendent event that forever changed him. His faith informed the choices he made in both public and private life. His friendship to others through the years has been mirrored by the love shown to him and the family through his illness. A thoughtful statement that reminds me of my best friend who I dedicate this show to. Just by knowing him all these many decades and being around his family ever since high school has made me a better person. I once mentioned to him in passing that I had a show, but we never talk about it. He has a birthday coming up, and I just want to say, what up, Holmes? Happy birthday, homeboy. I wish you many, many more. And it's only fitting the guy born on Christmas Eve kicks off the holidays and gives me the perfect opportunity to be that guy. The first to wish you a Merry Christmas in August. What can I say? Some people love Christmas.